So, if you notice today, Donald Trump held a press conference with the French president, Emmanuel Macron. He visited the White House to talk about a number of different issues, including Ukraine. And I think this is a very mesmerizing moment. And it's a very interesting moment because Donald Trump is talking about the money that Europe is loaning money to the Ukraine. And Macron literally has to stop him and put his hand on his leg, which I'm sure no man or woman really wants to do these days, and corrects him on the statement that he made. This is a very interesting moment. You have two leaders. Again, I use that leader loosely when talking about Donald Trump. And Macron literally has to correct him in front of the media. Have a listen to this moment.
There wasn't one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total efforts, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money. To be clear, we have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but it is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day, in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day, and Russia would have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
If they get their money back, we don't, and now we do. But, you know, that's
We will
only
fight
fair.
both.
Mr. President,
If you believe that, it's okay with me. So basically, he's basically saying Macron is the sucker if you believe it. And Macron had to correct him right in the middle of the press conference, which is an unbelievable moment, but also not surprising. So this is the point in the press conference, which I think a member of the media, kudos to them, asked Donald Trump a very important question. It's something that I've said on this show ever since he called Zelensky a dictator. Why have you not used the same words on Vladimir Putin? Listen to the question and listen to the scared Putin puppet in Donald Trump because he doesn't answer the question.
Customer, I will tell you that. You remember, that wasn't exactly what we agreed to.
When you call Zelensky a dictator, would you use the same words regarding Putin?
I don't use those words lightly. I think that we're going to see how it all works out. Let's see what happens. I think we have a chance of a really good settlement between various countries. And, you know, you're talking about Europe and you're talking about Ukraine as part of that whole situation. The other side has a lot of support also. So let's see how it all works out.
Well, so there you go. There's Donald Trump not answering the direct question. The question wasn't, do you use those words lightly? That wasn't the question. If you notice, the question was, do you say the same thing about, or will you say the same thing in regards to Vladimir Putin? That was the question, wasn't it? That was the question. And if you notice, Donald Trump didn't answer it. He stays away from anything negative involving Vladimir Putin. I still to this day don't understand why. Do you? I mean, I just don't get it. And it's getting to a point now where it's very troubling. It's troubling to the people of Ukraine. It should be troubling to the world that Vladimir Putin, for whatever reason, bends the knee to Putin. And he's been doing this for quite some time. That was a very direct question, and I think a very good one and a fair one. You've called Zelensky a dictator. Will you call Putin the same thing? And he deflects. He won't answer. So this is not going to change anytime soon. And it's very frustrating. And I don't know why he does this other than the fact that he looks up to evil, murderous dictators. I can't really understand why. But the situation in Ukraine right now isn't any better. In fact, I think you can make the argument that it's worse now than it was a month ago. And the situation with Hamas and the war in the Middle East is certainly not in a better spot now than it was a month ago. What the hell has Donald Trump accomplished? I know a lot of MAGA morons out there will say, oh, deportations. Well, a lot of people didn't sign up for deporting undocumented immigrants, many of whom are nonviolent criminals that pay their taxes and have families here. A lot of people didn't sign up for that. So, yeah, if you're a racist and a bigot, you love to see minorities suffer. I understand that. It's disgusting, but I understand that. And Donald Trump, again, refuses to call Vladimir Putin for exactly what he is, which is an evil, murderous dictator, which is exactly the words that Joe Biden used. The war is not over in 24 hours, is it, ladies and gentlemen? Remember when he said your egg prices were going to go down? He was going to lower the cost of inflation. Inflation has gone up. Gas prices have gone up throughout the country. The war in the Ukraine is still going on. Oh, yeah, he did pardon a bunch of January 6th insurrectionists, some of whom were violent criminals. He did do that. Kudos to him for that, right? And this is another question from another reporter. Again, French President Emmanuel Macron is sitting right next to him when all this is going on. Already had to correct him once. And this is a point where a reporter asked if he can explain the rationale having U.S. vote against the UN resolutions that Ukraine proposed. And this is once again Trump not even understanding the question, having no idea what he's talking about. Have a listen to this.
Can you explain the rationale, sir, in the U.S.?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Can you explain the rationale in having the U.S. vote against the UN resolutions that Ukraine proposed and also the U.S. proposed?
I would rather not explain it now, but it's sort of self-evident, I think.
Sort of self-evident, I think. Can somebody please explain to me what the hell that means? He didn't know how to answer the question. He didn't know. He didn't understand. He can't answer many questions. It's a word salad, and all these morons that claimed, oh, Kamala Harris can't answer questions. It's a word salad. Did you listen to how he answered that question? He knows nothing. He doesn't even know the executive orders that he signed until it's given to him on the table for him to sign it.